billions allocated for it, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. In this year's national budget, $72.2 billion has been allocated for housing and water sectors, with $54.5 billion set aside for housing development in new and existing areas across the nation. The money will be used for development in new and existing areas, including the construction of roads, drains, and bridges, and the installation of utilities to meet housing demands. Areas that will be developed include Mabaruma, Ornock, Buxton, St. Joseph, Stewartville, Wakenham, Block A and B, Hope, Success, Bathrock, and Number 75 Village. The government will also undertake infrastructural works in regularized areas such as Charity, Tushin, Chateau Margaux, Block SS Sophia, Belvedere, and Amelia's Ward. The National Drainage and Irrigation Authority is taking steps to alleviate the intrusion of river water at the Princess Street Sluice in Georgetown. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa visited the site after receiving reports of buildings in the area being affected and discovered that issues were caused by faulty work from the contractor, Square Commodities. The company had been awarded a contract for over $11.6 million for the fabrication and installation of a stainless steel door at the sluice last August. But apparently it was not of good quality. Minister Mustafa expressed disappointment and stated that the NDIA has advised to terminate the contract with Square Commodities and award an emergency contract to a more experienced company. The affected areas will be drained during the next low tide, and NDIA engineers will be monitoring the structure on a 24-hour basis. An Atlanta-based Guyanese attorney, Kenda Veloza, has won a lawsuit against her former friend and business associate, Janica Sandy. Veloza had sued Sandy in the Burpee Civil and Family Court for over $2 million in unpaid loans, but only received judgment for $5,274 or the equivalent of $1.1 million Ghana dollars. Sandy was ordered to pay the money within 1 month's time. However, there is still a dispute over another $4,727 that Sandy claims was an investment from a third party. The matter has been adjourned to February 3rd for a report on the settlement or directions for trial. The $11.8 billion four-lane road from Schooner to Crane on the west side is expected to be completed by June 2024. The new road will feature 1.4 kilometers of a dual carriageway, reinforced concrete road with an emergency lane, as well as 2.4 kilometers of road rehabilitation and upgrades. It will also include 2 roundabouts, 11 reinforced concrete box culverts, 36 pre-stressed bridges, and road signage and markings. The contract for the highway was awarded to 8 contractors.
It's a new year. How about you make your truck run like new with Powered Automotive? Powered Automotive had truck parts and spares from all the major brands you know and love at prices you won't find anywhere else. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana.
Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today. Former APNU Member of Parliament Raj Kumari Gloria Bancroft has died. The PNCR had announced that Bancroft died on Thursday after a period of illness. Bancroft had served as a Member of Parliament in the 11th Parliament of Guyana under the David Granger-led administration. She was a regional advocate for Region 8, Putaro Siparuni. The government has allocated $263.1 million in the 2023 budget towards the completion of the City Hall restoration project. The $780 million contract for the restoration was signed in September 2021 with Trinidadian company Fides Guyana Incorporated. However, as work progressed, extensive damage to the structural components of the building was uncovered by contractors, making the works intricate and tedious. The local government and regional development minister Nigel Dormal has assured that there will be no cost overruns and the project is expected to be completed this year. Plans include an elevator system and for the building to serve as a town hall for public activities and potentially a tourist site. Former murder-accused Edward Skeet, called Pretty Boy, has been gunned down in neighboring French Guiana. Skeet is no stranger to the law. In 2018, Skeet and Nyabadingi Gobin were freed on a suspected murder charge in the Georgetown High Court. In December 2020, the court granted Skeet $20,000 bail after he denied a charge of resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. And in December 2020, Skeet was shot twice during a shootout with several persons at James Street, Harborside, Georgetown. He has been on the run ever since. A 19-year-old unemployed woman was sentenced to 4 years in prison and fined $53.1 million for possession of cannabis. Marlena Ambitage of Norton Street, Workmanville, admitted to having 59 kilograms of cannabis in her possession for the purposing of trafficking on January 18th. She claimed that the drugs belonged to a man named Skittle, who had recently been killed in a drive-by shooting on Durbin Street. Amtage's boyfriend and sister were also charged, but the charges were withdrawn against them, as Amtage took ownership of the drugs. Amtage apologized for her actions and begged for leniency, but the magistrate sentenced her to prison and the fine. Health professionals nationwide will soon be trained to diagnose and treat women with prenatal and postpartum depression, according to Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony. The program will focus on recognizing symptoms of postpartum depression in women and will be an integrated program that will include screening for and detecting depression during pregnancy, offering counseling or antidepressant medication, and other things. The primary healthcare workers will be the main beneficiaries of the training program, and the pilot program will commence in certain areas before being expanded to every region. This training builds on efforts of last year, where 200 doctors and medics were trained by the World Health Organization to identify depression. Now for today's oil update. The Guyana Oil and Gas Energy Chamber and the Suriname Energy Chamber have signed a cooperation agreement to facilitate business development, joint ventures and partnerships, and investment promotion in the energy sector between the two nations. The agreement, which is not legally binding, sets a framework for deeper cooperation and addressing issues such as enhancing local effects of resource extraction, accelerating energy transition through the private sector, and promoting environmental, social, and governance standards. The partnership aims to maximize relationships across the energy value chain, deepen existing relationships in developed economies, and promote new relationships globally. The signing was held at the Ministry of Natural Resources in Guyana and witnessed by the Minister Vikram Bharat and leaders of both chambers.
Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's latest car on sale. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth, mag rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, spot camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $9.95 million. All pay as low as $1.99 million down, with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, Lot 2 Lama Street, and tell them Rico sent you for this sweet deal.
It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. You can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info.
Now for our Uncut News, viewers poll question of the day. Every day we pose the question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you fare it least once. Last night I asked, what sort of infrastructure projects should we invest in?
But before we get to that, I'd like to say a special thank you to our two paid supporters, Dion Nascimento and David Griffith. Thank you for your support, as it is what helps us bring you the news every evening.
Dimitri V says, I've said this before, but after all these road publications and made products that they have, they should really think about having more crossways for the rivers, the three main rivers, at least so that way people aren't dependent on boats to travel across them. They need to diversify the transportation options in this nation, as well as overhaul the minibus system. I agree, 100%. Now for tonight's question. It seems as if the government is absolutely unsure of what to do with City Hall once the restoration project is complete. So, I want to hear from you. What do you think we should do with City Hall once the restoration project is complete? So, I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out on Monday for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive. We'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha-ha! Good night, folks.